Welcome to our channel. Before we get started, please consider liking and subscribing so we can bring more stories like this to you.
In a small town nestled between rolling hills, a fallen soldier's legacy lingered in the hearts of those he had touched. Corporal Michael Hayes was not just a war hero. He was a beacon of hope during the darkest days of combat. Known for his unwavering bravery, Michael saved countless lives before ultimately sacrificing his own to protect his unit during a fierce ambush. His camaraderie and spirit inspired not only his fellow soldiers but also those who heard stories of his courage. As his battalion mourned their loss, Michael made a final request: to watch over his only daughter, Lily, should anything happen to him. This plea traveled through the grapevine, eventually reaching Jason Statham, an actor and former martial artist, whose own life had been shaped by themes of honor and sacrifice. Intrigued and moved, Jason vowed to fulfill Michael's wish, setting the stage for a promise that would bind their destinies and lead him on an unforeseen path of protection and redemption. It was at a somber funeral service where Jason Statham first heard the name Michael Hayes. Surrounded by the soldiers' comrades, the atmosphere was thick with grief and respect as stories of courage and sacrifice filled the air. Jason had been invited by a mutual friend, a fellow actor who understood the weight of military service and wanted to honor Michael's legacy. As he listened to the eulogies, one thing became clear: Michael's final request to protect his daughter resonated deeply with all who knew him. The more Jason learned about Lily, the more he felt compelled to step in. A conversation with a fellow attendee revealed the chilling details of how Michael's family could be vulnerable to those looking to exploit their grief. The urgency of the situation struck a chord in Jason, igniting a determination within him. This wasn't just about fulfilling a promise. It was about safeguarding a future that had been left in jeopardy. Jason's first encounter with Lily Hayes was both poignant and heart-wrenching. He found her seated on the porch of her home, her gaze lost in the distance, surrounded by remnants of a life that once thrived: family photos, a neglected bicycle, and a wind chime that clinked softly in the breeze. Though she wore a brave face, the deep lines of sorrow etched around her eyes spoke volumes about her grief. As Jason approached, he noticed how she instinctively recoiled, her body tensing at his presence. "I'm here to help," he offered gently. But Lily's response was laced with bitterness. "I don't need saving," she replied firmly, an echo of defiance mixed with vulnerability. Yet beneath that resilient exterior, he sensed a flicker of hope, a longing for connection buried under layers of loss. With each word exchanged, Jason recognized the strength in her resistance, a testament to Michael's spirit living on in his daughter, and knew that earning her trust would be an uphill battle worth fighting. As Jason began to forge a relationship with Lily, the shadow of danger loomed closer. Whispers of violent opportunists emerged in the small town, individuals who saw the soldier's legacy not as an honor but as a lucrative chance to exploit. These unsavory characters were drawn by rumors of hidden war memorabilia and financial benefits tied to Michael's name, eager to capitalize on the grief of those left behind. One evening, while Jason was reviewing security measures outside Lily's home, he noticed a group of men loitering nearby, their eyes filled with malicious intent. They were known troublemakers, infamous for preying on vulnerable families. Jason's instincts kicked in. He knew that protecting Lily was no longer just about honoring Michael's request. It was about keeping her safe from real threats that could shatter her fragile world. Determined, Jason began to strategize, aware that each moment spent in her presence was now laced with an urgency he couldn't ignore. Time was running out, and the stakes had never been higher. Determined to protect Lily at all costs, Jason began to put his martial skills into action. He transformed her home into a safe haven, installing security measures and developing a comprehensive plan to keep her guarded while forging a deeper connection with her. Every evening, as twilight fell, Jason would run drills, teaching Lily how to stay aware of her surroundings and the importance of self-defense, instilling in her a sense of empowerment amidst the uncertainty. With each passing day, Jason felt the weight of Corporal Hayes' legacy on his shoulders. It wasn't just about thwarting potential threats. It was about embodying the values of courage and honor that Michael had stood for. He spent hours training, honing his reflexes and tactics, reminding himself that protecting Lily was an homage to the fallen soldier's spirit. As tension escalated in the community, Jason's resolve solidified. He knew that standing between Lily, and those who aimed to exploit her was not just a mission. It was a personal vow he intended to uphold with unwavering dedication. As the days turned into weeks, Jason and Lily faced various challenges that gradually forged a bond between them. While conducting self-defense drills, they often found themselves sharing laughter during lighter moments, letting the tension of their circumstances fade, even if just for an instant. One afternoon, while taking a break, Jason noticed Lily staring at a well-worn photo of her father pinned to the wall. Encouraged by the moment, he gently asked her about Michael, prompting Lily to share cherished memories of her father, his playful nature and the lessons he had imparted about courage and integrity. Each story she recounted revealed not only her grief, but also her admiration for the man he had been. In return, Jason shared snippets of his own life, speaking candidly about how he had learned to combat fear with strength. As they navigated these emotional exchanges, trust blossomed, and Lily began to see Jason not just as a protector but as a confidant, a vital step toward healing and embracing her father's legacy. The tension reached a boiling point one evening when Jason noticed the same group of opportunists lurking near the edge of Lily's property, their eyes scanning the surroundings with predatory intent. With Lily safely inside, Jason stepped out into the twilight, steeling himself for a confrontation. As he approached the men, his heart raced, but his resolve was unshakable. He was determined to protect her at all costs. "Back off," Jason called out, his voice steady as he sized them up. The men exchanged glances, smirking at what they perceived as an easy target. But Jason's reputation as a fighter preceded him, and he was ready to prove it. As they advanced, Jason moved fluidly, employing his martial arts training with precision. He dodged a swing aimed at his head and countered swiftly, delivering powerful kicks and strikes that left the attackers reeling. The fight was chaotic, but Jason remained focused, channeling every ounce of strength and skill into defending Lily's honor. When the dust finally settled and the assailants fled, adrenaline coursed through him. He had not only defended her but shown that he would do whatever it took to keep her safe. In the quiet moments that followed the confrontation, Jason and Lily found themselves sitting on the porch, the air thick with unspoken feelings as twilight cast soft shadows around them. Jason broke the silence, reflecting on his own losses, his experiences in the film industry and the loved ones he had lost before. "Sometimes," he said thoughtfully, "we fight battles not just outside, but within ourselves." Lily nodded, her gaze drifting to the stars beginning to twinkle above. "I never thought I'd feel so lost after my father died," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "He was my hero, and now I'm just trying to figure out how to honor him." As they exchanged thoughts on heroism and grief, an understanding formed between them, a shared recognition of pain and resilience. Both were seeking redemption through their actions. Jason by protecting Lily and honoring Michael's legacy. Lily by reclaiming her strength in the face of loss. This bond deepened their connection, transforming their shared grief into a powerful force for healing. One afternoon, as they practiced self-defense moves in the backyard, Jason noticed a flicker of doubt in Lily's eyes after she stumbled during a technique. Kneeling beside her, he decided it was time to push her boundaries. "You've faced more than most people will ever know," he said, his voice steady and encouraging. "Don't let fear hold you back. You have the strength within you to not just fight, but to stand tall." With Jason's words resonating in her heart, they moved to a combat drill. This time, when confronted with his swift movements, Lily stood firm, feeling a surge of confidence. She mirrored his actions with greater precision, each successful block and counter igniting a newfound belief in herself. As they finished the session, laughter replaced tension, and Lily felt something shift inside her. For the first time since her father's death, she realized her capacity for strength and resilience, an awakening that marked a pivotal moment in her journey toward healing and self-discovery. The night had fallen heavy with foreboding as Jason sensed that the opportunists were regrouping, plotting a more aggressive move against Lily. He had fortified their defenses, but he knew that a final showdown was inevitable. With Lily in a secure location, a hidden room he had prepared, Jason prepared himself for the confrontation he hoped would end the threat for good. As he stepped outside into the darkness, the air crackled with tension. Shadows moved in the alleyway, revealing the group of adversaries he had faced before, now larger and more menacing. They approached with an air of confidence, believing they could overpower him and seize what they sought. The ensuing battle was fierce and chaotic. Jason fought methodically, displaying his martial arts prowess as he countered blows from multiple attackers. Each movement was calculated, every strike purposeful, fueled by his commitment to protect Lily as he pushed through the onslaught. He could feel that this fight was not just about survival. It was about honoring Michael Hayes' memory and ensuring that his daughter had a future free from fear. With the threat finally vanquished, a palpable sense of relief washed over Jason and Lily as dawn broke. Painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, they stood together in the early light, reflecting on their tumultuous journey. Jason felt a profound sense of accomplishment. Not only had he protected Lily, but he had also honored Michael's memory by helping her reclaim her strength. Lily, no longer the frightened girl burdened by grief, looked at Jason with renewed determination. "Thank you for believing in me," she said softly, her voice steady. "I can finally see my father's legacy in a new light." In that moment of shared understanding, they each recognized their transformation. Jason had stepped out of his own shadows of loss and found purpose in protecting another's future, while Lily embraced the heroism within herself that her father had instilled in her. Together, they turned toward the horizon, ready to face whatever came next. Not just as protector and ward, but as kindred spirits bound by resilience and hope as sunlight streamed through the trees, casting a warm glow on their surroundings. Jason and Lily took their first steps forward into this new chapter of their lives. The air was filled with the sense of spring, symbolizing fresh beginnings and renewed hope. They had faced unimaginable challenges, but together they had emerged stronger, each carrying a piece of Michael Hayes' legacy within them. Jason turned to Lily, a smile breaking across his face as he said, "We've come a long way. Whatever comes next, we'll face it together." Lily nodded, her eyes shining with determination. "I feel ready for anything," she replied, a newfound strength evident in her voice. With each step they took, the shadows of the past began to fade behind them. Together they explored the possibilities ahead, opportunities for joy, healing, and honoring the memory of a hero. United by resilience and purpose, they were no longer just survivor and protector. They were partners embarking on a journey of new beginnings filled with promise and hope.